Eminence in Shadow has hot girls, epic battles, great animation, and I don't care about any of that. The only reason I watch is this guy. Eminence in Shadow is one of the best anime to come out in recent years, and it's entirely down to its protagonist, Cid. Cid has a dream. He wants to be the Eminence in Shadow, the leader of a secret organization. He basically wants to run the foot from Ninja Turtles. Cid works very hard to achieve this, but despite being as strong as he is, he realizes that there are certain limits he can just never overcome. There are certain things humans just aren't capable of. He can't take on an army, he can't survive a nuke. There's only one thing that can grant him this power: magic. When I was a kid, I also dreamed of having powers, mostly from different anime. I wanted the Zanpakuto from Bleach. I wanted one of the rings from Reborn. In this way, I'm a lot like Cid, but never did I think about smashing my head against a rock in frustration and not being a wizard and then jump in front of a truck. In this way, I'm not like Cid at all, nor would I like to be, because I'd be dead. But this is a great way of showing just how psychotically dedicated Cid is to achieving his goal, and actually makes it more believable for him to be so powerful. But weirdly enough, this actually works. Cid does wake up in a fantasy world and learns magic. Now imagine you are the strongest being in the world, you have ultimate power, you're completely confident in yourself, you run a secret organization that only employs hot girls. How would you spend your time? Would you dedicate yourself to creating the cringiest scenarios possible just to take satisfaction in playing the role so well? Yeah, me neither. But this is where we find out who Cid really is. Cid is not the Eminence in Shadow. That is just one of his roles. Cid is a method actor, and he sits among the greats. He takes just as much pleasure in being a pathetic loser as he does in being an evil mastermind or a spy, because for Cid it's all about playing the role to perfection. Cid may be an unstoppable killing machine, but despite everything he can do, Cid has only two unparalleled abilities: the luck of the gods and the ability to spew more bullshit than a cattle farm. Cid is so dedicated to acting that it borders on the psychopathic. Actually, scratch that. It doesn't border it. Your lives mean nothing to Cid. The only thing he cares about is being the ultimate method actor. Method acting is kind of a terrifying concept, depending on the role. Take the Joker from Batman. It's probably obvious to all of us that actually behaving like a psychotic killer from a superhero comic in real life with real people is probably a bad idea. But that's why Jared Leto is a famous actor, and we spend all of our time watching anime and playing video games. While preparing for the role, Jared Leto refused to answer to anything other than Mr. J, and sent condoms, anal beads, and apparently live rats to the other actors in the film. This is what he said in an interview. His response to criticism over this was that he was an artist, and if you don't like it, you can kiss his ass. What a chat. Jamie Donan is an actor, but he's a method actor, and he went a bit crazy while preparing for a role. He was playing a serial killer, and so got on a train and stalked a real woman for the role. He just got on a random train and just started following some random woman home for a while. There was also Tom Hanks, who didn't shower for weeks before playing in Castaway, and Nicolas Cage, he played a soldier and so ripped out his own teeth without anesthetic to try and feel some of the pain that a soldier would have felt. This is insane. This is all completely insane, but this still doesn't compare to Cid, who has literally killed hundreds of people in pursuit of being an edgelord. This is a man who found out his school was being invaded and lots of children might die, and smiled because it was the perfect role-playing opportunity for him to be a cringy background character again. Cid is willing to give up anything for the perfect scene. This is a man who has never had sex despite being alive for 30 years and ruling over a harem of elf girls, throwing themselves at him, because all he cares about is making cool entrances and delivering edgy lines. This is his face surrounded by elf girls. This is his face when his school gets invaded by thugs. Cid cares only about method acting, and I see nothing wrong with this. Dedication is what most of you kids lack today. One of the best scenes is where Cid is having a dramatic moment with Princess Oriana, where she is pouring her heart out and he is just eating snacks the whole time while trying to still deliver his lines. What was going through his head at this point? Like, he really wanted to do the scene, but the biscuits were just that good that he couldn't resist eating them. Everything about this scene is brilliant. The crumbs on his face as he looks at her dramatically, the fact that he tries to hold her but then refuses to put down the biscuit. I realize I've pretty much only talked about Cid, but Cid is not the only great character. There are some great side characters too. Mundane Man, John Smith, baghead superhero, stylish thug slayer. But they're all played by Cid. Sid is like Austin Powers, all the best characters are played by him or their hot girls. Eminence in Shadow is an isekai with all of the tropes. The overpowered protagonist, the elf harem, every female character immediately falling in love with the main character, an evil cult trying to take over the world by all reasonable logic. It should suck, yet it doesn't, because all of this is flipped by the fact that we are watching a hilarious psychopath live out an edgy play. Every scene becomes ironic, and his actions are always unexpected. One moment he's being the Eminence in Shadow, and the next he's a spy called John Smith just because he thought it would be fun to be a spy today. He was so impressed by a single edgy line that he heard, that he just mentally shut down. And when he recovered emotionally, he went around the entire town saying it to literally everyone. Despite being the main character of the show, there are multiple episodes where that line was the only thing he said. This anime is so good that I find myself being more excited each episode of this to come out than I am for Shield Hero or Goblin Slayer, despite being much bigger anime. I think the only currently airing anime I enjoy more than Eminence in Shadow is Jujutsu Kaisen. But considering how good Jujutsu Kaisen is right now, only being worse than that is an incredible testament to just how quality this anime is. I never expected this anime to be so good, but just as Sid says himself, what you might have thought was a worm was merely just contained in its sheath. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more.